you have from your end. Maybe now we could start by taking this opportunity in riding on that momentum to have us introduce ourselves, just a name, the country you come from, and maybe one or two of the expectations you have. Before I get to introduce who we are, who I am, and what we are here to do today. So I think we could start from there. Just your name, the country you come from, and maybe one of the expectation you have in regards to onboarding or intending to onboard AfriScale Center for Management. I think that could be a good place to start as we get to ride on the introduction our two colleagues had started on. So should I just give us a go ahead, he who's ready to maybe raise a hand so that I could moderate, or I could just call us by the names we have here. Sorry, I've muted us all. Yes, now go ahead. Yes, Samsung SM, go ahead. Okay, you haven't unmuted yet. As we are waiting for Samsung to unmute, yes, Elena? Elena, go
Yes,
ahead.
hello.
Yes.
Yes, my name is Mangara Kwatua. I'm a South Sudanese by nationalist, and I live in Juba, but currently I'm in Nimli border. And some of my expectation, I want to learn. That is one of the expectation, and I want to interact, meet new people, and also peaceful environment. And I will stop there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, we can continue. Let's continue. Yes, Hamisi Sadiki.
Thank you. My name is Hamed Saliki from Tanzania. Of course, I was struggling in creating fundable proposals. So, of course, I made a decision to join this course so as to gain practical understanding on how to develop one, so as to secure the funding opportunities that are available. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hamisi. Yes, go ahead. Yes, let me hear from yes, go ahead, Samsung.
Can I go ahead or Samsung will go ahead?
Yes, go ahead. You go ahead kindly.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Nora Aidid. I am from Somaliland, and I am expecting to learn, especially how to develop quality proposals. That's my objective for this meeting.
Thank you. Yes, Leonita, go ahead.
Yes, hello.
Good evening.
Hello.
Sorry. Good evening. My name is Leonita Sumba from Kenya, and I'm happy to be here. I have pieces of knowledge on resource mobilization and proposal writing here and there. So my expectation is that at the end I'll be able to really put the pieces together and have a practical feel of how to go about it. Thank you.
Thank you. You are in the right place. So far we have a representation from South Sudan, Juba, Tanzania, Somalia, and Kenya. Yes, if, for example, your country hasn't been represented yet, kindly request also we continue. Yes, Elena.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Elena Ongwai from Kenya. And the reason as to why I've joined this forum is that I want to be courageous I want people, at least people, I want at least to have a flow while I'm addressing people. Sometimes I forget words and I just lose words easily.
Thank you, Lina. You are in the right place, and I want to believe that by the end of the course that you're partaking, you'll have honed the art and the skill that you are here to own.
Hello,
Yes.
can I continue?
Yes, continue, Ahmed.
Hello, good evening. My name is Ahmed Kare. I am from Somalia. I have worked in the humanitarian NGO sector for over a decade. During this time, I have developed and submitted dozens of proposals. Many of them were unsuccessful, which motivated me to analyze the reasons behind those outcomes and identified areas of improvement. Today, I am submitted to learning new technologies and strengthening my skills in resource mobilization and proposal writing. My goal is to develop high quality competitive proposals that attract donor funding and contribute to meaningful humanitarian development initiatives. Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Ahmed. You are in the right place. Yes, Brandon. Yes, Brandon.
Hi, good evening. This is Brandon Gifts Yagumba from Lusaka, Zambia. And I'm excited to be part of this training because when you look at branding, it's everything. And by the way, I'm a founder at the Mastermind Leadership Foundation, a youth predominantly looking at youth leadership education and community development projects. And I'm excited. I can't wait to network with each and everybody on this platform. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Ramadan. Yes, Ramadan, you can go ahead.
Thank you. I'm by the names of Ramadan Abdul Hamid from Uganda. Very excited to have joined you once again on the self-branding. So I really expect to add on my career, to add on my skills on how I can be, because branding is everything in business. So I'm very happy to have joined this training. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me hear from Essie. Yes, Essie. Essie Vengesai.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank
Can you
you.
hear
Good
me?
evening. Yes, we can.
Good evening.
Yes,
My name is
Essie, go
Essie
ahead.
Vengesai. I am from Zimbabwe. I wish to learn how to speak effectively and to be able even to speak in public without stammering or going blank. And so that I'll also be able to brand myself just as a brand.
Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you, Essie from Zimbabwe. You are in the right place. Yes, Itel. I see Itel A66.
Yeah, this is Elvis Musonda from Zambia. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
This is Elvis from Zambia. I just would like to have this skill because most of my time I find it difficult to try to read. You know, we've been having some challenges when we are appointed, even when you see some of the mistakes which are being raised in the crew. So I decided to say, let me learn this skill so that I can see what.
Thank you.
And how to, yeah.
Thank you. You are in the right place, and I believe by the end of your course, you'll have owned that art. Let me hear from Joseph Baku. Yes, Baku.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. First of all, I'd like to say hi, good evening to everyone. My name is Joseph Baku, as indicated on the screen. I'm from South Sudan. My expectation is that I should acquire personal branding skills and leadership skills too, and data analysis, actually managing leadership using data analysis. So thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Joseph. Let me hear from Sir Hesbon, and then I think I'll continue from there. Yes, Sir Hesbon.
Yes, good evening.
Good
Yes,
evening.
thank you for the opportunity. My name is Esbon from Kenya, and thank you for this opportunity because personal branding is everything, and we want to maintain the visibility in the industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Hesbon. The reason as to why I'm also taking a record of the country, it's so that it can bring ease to the facilitators who will be partaking us as we continue with our different sessions in bringing practical, relevant, and also examples that you can actually resonate with from different countries. So far here we have a representation from South Sudan, a representation from Tanzania, a representation from Somalia, Kenya, Zambia, Uganda, and Zimbabwe. Is there maybe any country I've omitted that has not been represented yet? As also, I'll request us to continue also introducing ourselves in the chat box. Let's also utilize the chat box. If there's no country that's not represented, yes, Wilson Guy.
Yes, good evening to all. Liberia is being represented by me.
Okay, thank you, Wilson, for representing Liberia. I see also Cameroon is represented. I think, yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, as we continue to introduce ourselves in the chat box also, I think I'll take this time, let me share a slide, and then now we can pick it from there. I've seen some familiar faces. Thank you. I've seen some familiar faces here. And as I continue to introduce myself, I also take this opportunity to thank you for trusting us again and also choosing to onboard, to partake maybe a different course with us, also to hone your skill in a different sector with us. We don't take it lightly. And for those whom we haven't met yet, I go by the name Raymond Asiago Mokaya, a lead trainer at AfriSkills Center for Management. And just to ask to respond to the question I saw some of us were asking in regards to why are we here today. We look at personal branding as a cross-cutting factor in all professions as it comes down to how do you position yourself. And depending on the course you are doing, be it's resource mobilization, it's monitoring and evaluation, it's leadership, it's communication, personal branding is coming in as a cross-cutting factor. Today, having it as a seminar, allow me call it a seminar. I'm really humbled to be the one facilitating today's session. And the reason as to why I look at personal branding as a topic that I'm deeply passionate about, it's because I've seen it transform careers. I've seen proper branding transform lives or even businesses. And this is a testimonial I'm using now that I've seen it work for me and also to other people even beyond my country, which is Kenya. But before I continue maybe introducing who I am, also let me take this opportunity to welcome us to AfriSkills Center for Management, which is a premier school that was established under the one gap that was seen across different countries in Africa. That is, Africa is growing. And we are in an era where we see almost everybody is knowledgeable. You go to different countries, you assess their literacy levels, they are ranging between 50, 60, 70, 80, even 92. That in itself showcases how intentional we are towards growing and getting knowledge. But then the bridge between knowledge and what different professions or employers want is now what we came in to bridge. That gap. How can we turn this knowledge towards impact? That in itself lays the foundation as to why at AfriSkill, 90% of our work will be practical based. If it's proposal writing, if it's leadership, if it's communication, if it's management, if it's monitoring and evaluation, these are the things we'll look at a practical level. AfriSkill in itself being a NITA approved institution with also NITA approved trainers. We believe we are best positioned to give you not only the right skill, but also we give you an accredited certification that can be presented at the end of this course or at the end of your course to any employer in any country, and it can be acknowledged. It's important again to mention that. So also to mention some of the programs that we have include monitoring and evaluation, resource mobilization, and proposal development. It also includes senior management, project management, training of trainers, public speaking, practical accounting, supervisory skills, strategic leadership, SPSS, and even advanced Excel. As I've said, I just wanted to mention also to see how many of us are represented. As I've interacted with some of us at a personal level and at an institutional level, this in itself lays out the good foundation on our footprint across different countries in Africa, from Kenya to Uganda to Rwanda to Tanzania, South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia, even Gambia, South Sudan, Malawi, Lesotho, Cameroon. And the reason as to why we also do this representation, it's because when we will be doing this our physical workshops, maybe in different countries, periodic workshops, we can also be inviting us from our country of origin to come and be in attendance so that we get to have also some thorough one-on-one mentorship, be it's post-training or one-on-one interaction to see how exactly maybe did we bridge the gap. And that is important. Now, before we look at what personal branding is, it's also important to mention that I'm also bringing the few years of experience I've had not only in personal branding, but also in my area of profession, which is monitoring and evaluation, where I've been a specialty for more than the past 9 years, and also in community health, which are some of the courses that I've undertaken, including some other short courses from leadership to communication to child protection. And these years I've spent working with different professionals, with different entrepreneurs, students, artists, and even institutions. I've seen how personal branding helps bring better clarity, helps position individuals and institutions to communicate their unique value, which now eventually speaks for them in a way that maybe they couldn't have if they didn't own that art of how can we actually position ourselves. So before even we look at what personal branding is, before even we look at maybe how can we brand ourselves, I usually tend to look at a personal branding as as simple as what do people say about you, and also as what do people say about you in your presence, and what do people say about you when you are out of the room. And it's important maybe we get to look at that, because whether we like it or not, these are the realities. Whether we like it or not, people already know who we are, whether they know us or they don't, meaning that we already have a brand. And the question is then, are we going to be the ones shaping this brand? Or are we going to allow other people to shape our brand by default? Look at this example. If right now I asked you to describe yourself, maybe let me hear from 3 different people. If right now I asked you to describe yourself and tell us who you are, who could you say are you? Maybe let me ask Alfred Wandiema. Alfred Wandiema, can you hear me? Alfred Wandiema? The unmute button is the microphone icon on I think on the left side of your gadget. As you wait for Alfred and Diema maybe to respond, let me hear from us. If right now you're presented an opportunity to describe who you are, in simple words, who can you say you are? Ann Kwamboka, who are you? Yes, Alfred, I see you've unmuted. Go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are right now.
All right. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Bwana Raymond, I'm grateful that I've come to AfriSkill. Personally, I'm Alfred by name. I'm an educator. I engage in a leadership in different capacities at my workplace, church, community. And I do counseling. I also talk to students, and occasionally, whenever an opportunity falls my way, and I can talk a lot about myself. So
Alfred,
yeah.
maybe
Yes.
in a simple, maybe 3 words, how can you describe yourself?
I can say personally, I am a leader by default.
Thank you.
And an educator.
Thank you. Thank you, Alfred. So you could say you are a leader by default and an educator. Now, I have a second question.
Yes.
If right now I asked someone who knows you or a colleague or a subordinate, do you think they could describe you the same way?
Even others have told me.
Thank you.
I've been
Thank you.
told by them directly. Yeah.
Thank you, Alfred, for that. Let me maybe also hear from someone else. If you're given an opportunity to tell us, who are you? Who could you say you are? Yes, I had called Ann Kwamboka. Ann Kwamboka, who could you say are you if you're presented an opportunity? Henry,
my name is Henry, and I call you from Liberia.
Yes, Henry. Henry, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing, but some are broken. Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes, if presented an opportunity to describe yourself in a simple word, how can you describe yourself?
In a simple word, first thing I would say, I am a human, and I am a Liberian, and I am a believer. I am a Christian, and I am a leader because I lead people.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let me
Yes, sir.
before I comment on that. Thank you. Let me also hear from Umidigi. Umidigi, how could you describe yourself? Yes, you haven't unmuted yet. Okay, as we wait for Umidigi to unmute, Martin, you can go ahead. Martin, how can you describe yourself?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, and then Umidigi will pick after you.
Yes, hello. Hello.
Yes, Martin, go ahead.
Yes. Okay. I'm really I'm really sorry because I joined a little bit late. But I'm Martin Abumba, and I'm living in Kakuma refugee camp. So I'm a refugee. Okay, I myself, I can describe myself that I am a leader, and also I'm a good listener. I usually listen first to the people before making any judge or any decision.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Martin, you are a leader and you are a good listener. Now, let me hear from Umidigi, and then I'll ask us another question, which will respond. I'll still be picking these hands. Yes, Umidigi.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm Claire. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, my name is Emmanuel Pine from Liberia. So if I'm asked to introduce myself or who I am, Emmanuel is a forester. He graduated from the University of Liberia, a businessman, and also an emerging engineer who is into agriculture and biodigester installation, a Liberian, and a family man of two kids.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Midigi. Let me try this question differently. Maybe let's try something practical. Let me share something here. Let's not lower our hands. I've just shared an image. I want to believe we can see this image. Maybe can someone confirm if the image is visible?
It's
Yes, it
very
is.
visible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes, visible. We have seen it. Good.
Thank you,
Good.
thank you. So I've just shared an image of someone. I don't know this person, but I want to believe some of us know this person. But from this image, if you're presented an opportunity to describe this person in 2 words, only 2 words, how can you describe this person? I want to hear from 4 different people before I present another image. Let me hear from Farai. Farai Tarehwa. How could you describe this person?
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. I can describe him as a leader who is just leading a team leader.
Okay. You can describe him as a team leader. Thank you, Farai.
Yes.
Maybe can I ask why? Yes, Farai, can I ask why? Why could you describe him such?
Okay, from the picture, maybe if I'm to identify the person, it's a picture which is showing former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela, surrounded by his team. But from just the picture, just taking a description from the picture, him is a bit slightly elevated above the other team members that are there, just showing that he is just standing above the other one, leading them, just from a description point of view.
Thank you, Farai. Let me hear also from Repent Woro.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you very
Repent.
much. I'm Repent Woro from South Sudan.
Yes.
And this picture tells me this is a team leader. He's a courageous, confident, and ready to lead the team to the goal where they want to go.
Okay. So from the look of this picture, you see someone courageous, confident, and very able to lead a team to a certain point. Maybe let me hear who might have a contradicting
Can I give my
opinion.
thoughts?
Yes, come ahead. Go on.
Hello, sir.
Thank
Hello.
Just a minute.
Can I come in?
Yes, come in. Let me
I'm
take
Jason T. Kekula from Liberia.
Yes.
Are you getting me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm not getting you.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can get you clearly. Yeah, with the picture showing there and with the kind of logo that I saw and discussing leadership, that showed a clear picture as a leader. So if somebody asks me, who are you? I will best tell them, I am a leader. It's not about what color, it's not about what name, but it's about what integrity, what characters, what charisma I have. So I think that is my side of understanding that.
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we've all said this person who's Nelson Mandela is a leader. Do we have anybody with a contradicting opinion? Now let's look at this other picture. Yes, Umedigi.
Can I give my thoughts?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. Looking at
Yes,
this
Silas.
picture, this is Nelson Mandela of South Africa, and I could describe him as a freedom fighter and a democratic leader. That's how I can describe him. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. So you can describe him as a freedom fighter and as a leader. Will I be right if I say, because he's surrounded by people protecting him, he's either a politician or an insider? Will I be right if I say so? What do we think? Abel Mwangi, what do you think? Will I be right if I say so?
I think so.
So
You are
I
right.
might be right if I say he is an insider from the way he is in the picture.
You are right.
Okay.
Yes, you
Okay.
can say that.
Now let's look at this picture. Let me have 4 people respond to me. Let me start with the Ramadan. Ramadan, what can you say about this picture? Yes.
This picture.
How can you describe this person?
This person, someone who has made it all and he's now in a luxury life.
So this is someone luxurious.
Yes,
okay.
thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ramadan.
If,
Yes,
if I may
yes, Sir
describe this,
Hesbon.
if I may describe this image,
Yes.
Hello?
Okay,
Yes, that.
yes, Henry, go ahead and then Sir Hesbon will follow. Yes, Henry.
If
if
I
I
can
may
describe this
describe,
person in this picture,
Just a minute, just
to
a
me,
minute. Okay, okay, I've muted all of us. Now, Henry, can you go ahead and unmute? Henry? Okay, okay, Abel, go ahead.
Hello. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mokaya. Hello.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Abel Mwangi from Kenya. From the perspective of this picture, I can say this guy is luxurious and lonely.
Okay. So you can say this guy, 1, is luxurious. 2, he's lonely. I don't want to ask why, but let me hear from someone else also. Let me hear from
he's
Hamisi
confident.
Sadiki. Hamisi
He is
Sadiki, how can you
confident.
describe this person?
He is
can you hear me?
confident. He is confident.
Yes, yes, yes. Hamisi Sadiki.
Yes, do you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
This is Abdurrahman from Somalia, and this picture shows me a lot of fear, as well as a person who is angry and has a failure.
Okay. So you see a lot of fear from this picture.
This is someone
Can I
who
also
is
say
confident.
Okay, I've heard
Someone
someone who's confident.
someone who is confident of himself.
Okay.
Someone
So
who
a
has
luxurious
achieved,
person, someone who's confident,
achieved
and
and is
also I've heard as
confident.
someone who has fear. Yes, let me hear from one person. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, hello.
Yes,
Do you hear me?
yes, go ahead.
Yes, this person, is a leader who is leading uh, in the shadow, or someone who is leading uh, behind the screen. Most of business people or business leader, they are always like that, lonely, but leading. Yeah,
Okay.
to
So
me,
it
it's a
looks
leader,
like a,
but
uh-huh.
a leader who has confidence, but is leading from the shadow.
Okay. So one, he looks like a leader. He looks confident. He looks luxurious. He looks like he has fear. I've heard that. Would I be right if I say he looks like a criminal?
Can I come in?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. Okay. Now, let me share two other pictures. Let me share two other pictures and then you get to see what exactly I want us to do. There's a picture I've shared here. So from the first one, we saw a leader, a charismatic person, a person maybe who's influential. From the second one, we've seen a luxurious person, a businessman, a leader also, you've said it, or someone with fear. Now let's look at this image. What can we tell about this person? Let me hear from Lydia. Lydia, what can you tell about this person? Lydia, Namibia.
I see Joy, the person who.
You see joy. Okay. I see from Osman, this is a humble and easygoing person. Is it the same person, Osman? Okay. What else can you say about this person? We've said joy.
He's a satisfied person.
A satisfied person. This looks like a satisfied person. Okay. Let me hear from Hassan Haji. Hassan Haji, what can you say about this picture?
Yes, this picture is a mixture of different feelings. To begin with, the middle young man. The middle young man is so happy. Is laughing and expressing kind of happiness. From the right far right person appears with some tattered clothes, and from the left we see hand holding the shoulder of the young boy, so who appears to be a mother. So from the attire, from whatsoever, from the evidence, we can say there is a economically low class member of a family with happy lifestyle. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I also see here that we can say is a very happy and a full of joy person. Is a child who's contented, is someone who has accepted his humble background. Now, can I be right if I choose to be critical and say, because maybe someone told me in psychology that the most hurting one, the loneliest one is the loudest in a team, or is the one who presents the most happiest facial expression in a team. Would I be happy? Would I be right if I say this person here is the loneliest one? I'm just asking. Will I be right if I say so?
Can you come back?
Okay. I see Rahel is saying no. Now, let me present two pictures and then I tell us why. I see even Sigu is saying he is not lonely. That means he's happy. But also I see here Galaxy is saying I might be right and wrong at the same time. Now let's look at this picture here. Let me hear from Sir Hesbon, Kenya. How can you describe this person?
That person looks like an angry person, a mentally disturbed.
Okay. Hesbon has seen a hungry and a mentally disturbed person. Okay. Okay. Let me hear from I see from Ekali saying he looks like a person with anxiety, full of worries. I see here someone is saying that Rahel is saying this person looks tired. Okay. Now, from almost every response I'm getting about this person, I'm not getting a positive one. Can you trust? Elena is saying that he looks old and miserable. Can you trust this person with your money and send them somewhere to go buy you something? Yes?
No.
Why can't you?
Maybe this kind of
Can I
people,
come in?
like he's a warrior, like he's not
Yeah,
happy.
I can.
Okay. 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 Let me hear from someone else. Yes, come in. Yes, come in.
Can I come in?
Yes, come in. Yes, come in. Why can't you trust this person?
Okay. For me, Jackson G. Kegula, I can trust that person to say and buy anything for me because his physical appearance cannot determine his character. It's possible he might be, maybe something might play on him from a home, his emotion might control him, but it's not speaking his character. His face might appear evil, but not his heart, not his character.
Okay. Okay. I think you're concurring with what Mary is saying, that actually most poor people have integrity. Meaning, Mary, you've described this person as poor. I just want to challenge that. Also, I want to challenge our ideology. What if this person is the richest of the all we've shown, only that is a don't care in his presentation? Probably is a project director in a program that is targeting the vulnerable in the community or the street kids. And he has to dress like them so that he doesn't scare them away. What if that is the scenario? But that's just our TIF. Now let's look at this one. This is the last picture I want us to talk about. How can you describe this person? Yes, Priska. How can you
Barack
describe this
Obama
person? Okay, I've heard the name Barack Obama. So you can
is
describe
a
this
humble
person as
person.
Barack Obama. Yes?
Is a humble person, visionary.
He's looking
And
confident.
Very
He's
looking
respected.
confident.
confident and
Okay.
energetic.
Energetic, humble, confident, respected, visionary.
presentable, confidence, showing you leadership.
Leadership. Now, do we know why we've done this exercise? It has taken us around 20 minutes and we needed to take those 20 minutes. Do we know why we've done that exercise? We've done this exercise to prove one thing. We've done this exercise to prove one thing. That is, whether people know you or don't, they already have an image of who you might be. That means they've already branded you. Whether people know you or not, they've already branded you. And the question is this: did you play a role in helping them brand you? Or did you give them the mandate and the tool to brand you in your absentia? We've described these people with or without their knowledge, with knowing them or without knowing them. And the question is this: in most of the names or descriptions we've used to describe them, none of us has mentioned a technical skill. Rather, we've used the soft skill to define them. This person looks jovial. This person looks serious. This person looks stressed. This person looks confident. This person looks luxurious. And this is the question: in your absentia, with that doctorate degree, with that master's degree, with that diploma, with that certificate, those people outside there don't know whether you have that or not. but they already have a description of who you are. That means they've already branded you. We've branded this person because we know him. And for those of us who don't know him, we've branded him because of how he has chosen to present himself. The same way we've branded this person because we don't know him. We've branded this young man because we don't know him, but we've seen him. There's a time I had gone for a certain consultancy somewhere. It was an evaluation. And in the team, the committee, or let me call it the hall where I was supposed to be introduced, I requested the program director that I don't have to sit in front there on the panel desk. What if I just sit amongst the staffs? You know, because the organization was so big, it had around 70, 80, 90 staffs. So I took a chair and I sit amongst the staffs just because I wanted to see how would people describe this person they've been come to be introduced to. And I could hear several descriptions. Other people could say, have you heard about the person who's coming? We've heard he's very strict. We've heard he's very jovial. We've heard he's very serious. We've heard that person takes his work so serious. That means if you've done anything wrong, he's going to find it out. And I could hear people describing a lot of things. And that in itself gave me an idea. These people have already branded me. Now the question is this: am I going to prove them right, or am I going to prove them wrong? And the reason as to why I've given us this example is, if I tell you to describe yourself, you'll say, I'm Raymond Mokaya, I am an engineer. But for those who don't know whether you are an engineer, how have they branded you? Could they say you are approachable? Could they say you are a leader? Could they say, for example, you are jovial? Could they say you are confident? And the same scenario, or the same example I've given, is the same example I want to give in a certain scenario. Before now we delve into the document, let me share the slides that I have. You walk into a room. Let's say you are seated in a room of around 5, 6, 7 people or 10 people, and conflict arises. Let me use this other example. Ever been in a group discussion, be it in a workplace, in a social group, and then one of you is asked to present your resolution that discuss topic A, B, C, and D? Maybe there's a challenge you have in a workplace, and then you are tasked to present as a group, to present the resolution. And you realize in that group of 5 people, almost 4 people will point at you and say, why can't you go ahead and present for us? What is it that they see in you that wants them to want you to present them? Because consciously or subconsciously, you've already branded yourself to them. And the question is this: what is it that they see in you? What is it that they describe you or associate you with that gives them the confidence that you are the right person to go present them? That's the question you need to ask yourself. And look at a scenario where you are in a meeting. And in this meeting, there's a problem in your workplace. And in this workplace where there's a problem, the project officer or the director or the CEO calls in for an impromptu meeting. And he is calling for this meeting because maybe he wants us to find a solution. Let's brainstorm on the solution. And he says, maybe for the past 1 month, we've had very bad sales as an institution. What could be the challenge? Could we brainstorm on some of the challenges and how can we go about it? Of the 17 people who are in that meeting, you realize there's someone called Raymond who keeps on raising his hand and responding, suggesting. And something comes up where the CEO gets a phone call. And in the phone call, the CEO is asked to step out for an impromptu meeting. And in this group of 17 people, he has to appoint someone to facilitate that discussion in brainstorming the solution for maybe 1 hour before he comes back. This is my question. Who could the CEO probably pick? Is it the 16 people who are quiet in the meeting looking at each other? Or is it the one person who was intentional, who showcased intent of wanting to find a solution to facilitate the brainstorming session. Who do you think could the CEO pick? Mohammed Osman.
Yes, the one who is chosen is that who was very interactive and also taking part in the session, and lead is to be different with from the others for his attention and also influence, so that he can just be selected accordingly.
Okay, thank you. Let me also hear. I see here Maga is saying the one person who's responding.
Yes, I have also one comment, if it's possible.
Okay. Yes, Oppo. Who do you think would the CEO pick to continue facilitating the group meeting before he comes back? And the question is why? Yes, I see here Oppo CPH 2375.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes.
I think the manager will pick the person who is actively participating in the meeting, because I think we believe that when you participate actively, it's that you're getting what is going on with the meeting. Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. So one thing we can agree, probably the
Yes, dear
manager
Raymond.
or the CEO. Yes.
Can I interrupt you? Okay.
Yes, Mohammed, go ahead.
Yes, I have one comment for the above slide. If you can just back to slide 1. Yes, here, Somalia is missing, which is really very, yes, we have big representative in this African scheme. So it should be added.
Thank you, Osman, for that reminder. Thank you. So, as we are going to add Somalia, because we know Somalia also has been very well represented in several of our sessions, both physical and virtual. The question is this: why could you probably pick the one who's actively responding? Because from the chat box I see, Joseph is saying the manager will leave the class to the most competent or active one. Now, I want to go to that comment in a few. Let me read the one from Ombiri. Ombiri saying the one who keeps on asking questions for clarity, or the one contributing and asking questions, as Lulanga is saying. Why do you think the CEO might probably ought to go out for that one?
So can I come in? I'm Jackson from Liberia.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I think from the previous stage, we are discussing leadership. And leadership has to do with perfection and specialization. So if I've been employed to an institution and then performing physically, that the manager who is there and the monitor who is monitoring and the CEO is not there, but it's the manager speak to the administrator speak to the CEO, and then he coming physically in a meeting to see me performing what I can do physically and do it, or to do the theory, that speaks volume to him that I'm very capable of leading even his institution and even steering the meeting.
Okay. Thank you. Now, let me also hear from someone else. Why do you think could the CEO pick the one who's the most active, not someone amongst the other 16? I see Rosemary saying because he showed intention to be involved actively. Yes, Maga. Yes, Maga Melaine. Why do you think the CEO could pick the one who's active? Okay. Yes.
I want to come in.
Yes, Alfred.
This is Emmanuel Sabote.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
let's allow Alfred. Yes, Alfred, go ahead.
I have two schools of thought here.
Yes, please go ahead.
The manager is likely to pick the one who is more active, because one, he has shown interest and eager and perhaps will be able to drive the agenda successfully. And on the other side, because of the manager's familiarity, he might be knowing his teammates. You could be the most active, but you may not be the one who can control and manage the discussion. So he may also land on a quiet person, but a very stable team leader. So that the most active discussant can continue being an energizer for the discussions to continue.
Thank you, Alfred. You've introduced a very good aspect, which I want us to look at in a few. Let me hear from Farai. Yes, Farai Terehua.
All right. Thank you very much. I just wanted to support the last speaker. Leadership is not being a spectator. It encouraged active engagement and participation. So if this person who is participating so much is actually showing that he is also present and is also moving with the goals of the program, and also is part of the things that are happening. So the CEO is most likely to pick this one with active participation.
Okay. This one thing we are driving at, that as much as meritocracy is something we want to see in our different workstations, promotion, job acquisition, appraisal oftenly doesn't follow the principles of meritocracy. That's the one thing we want to drive at. Meaning, the promoted one is not the most qualified, rather, it's the most active or the most intentional. That's the one thing we want to drive at. And the question is this: is it true? Yes, Tabman. Yes, Tabman, say one. What do you think?
Well, my name is Topman Tegbase Sewan, and I'm from Liberia. Basically, before I come to the second portion, the reality is that the presiding or the CEO will likely pick the active one because of visibility. The fact that he's answering questions and putting forth ideas that alone make him visible. Whether one or two times he has done it, the supervisor or the CEO is taking a look at it. The second portion are you talking about is possible. The person may be active, but it may not be the guy in the room or the elephant in the room. So it is vice versa. The CEO will be able to look at the quality of answers, match it with the frequency of answering questions, and know exactly among the 2 or 3 persons that are participating, though he's the most active one, and probably take the second one because of the ideas he put in for and that are making the meeting to make a lot more progress and control. Thank you.
Thank you. There's something, you can see something from what we are discussing right now. That is, if you choose to brand yourself, and let's get one thing very light. Branding yourself doesn't mean you're the loudest. It means you're the active one. But now, how active are you? Because the one thing you can say is, from the discussion we've had just for the past 20 minutes, nobody has asked, what is the qualification of this one person who's very active? Rather, we've said, it's better to give this person who's active the interim leadership position to facilitate the meeting rather than giving the 16 ones who are quiet, irrespective of their qualification, experience, and also exposure. And this is the one thing we want to talk about: branding. Because branding somehow, if done well, it defies the physics of employment. Branding somehow, if done well, it defies the physics and the principles of acquisition. What do I mean by this? We've seen people aligned in a shop, which is so small, in a certain corner, and skip another shop, which is so big and looks very luxurious, and you ask yourself, why? Is it because this small shop is the loudest? Or is it because this big shop is intimidating? Why am I saying this? Now that we've all agreed that whether we like it or not, people are already branding us. And we want to look at how can we become architects of how now this branding takes place. The one thing we can agree is branding is not bragging. And I want us to get it with clarity. Branding is not showing off. Rather, branding is about being intentional with how you want the world to perceive you. Branding is not about faking success. Branding is not about pretending to be someone you're not. Rather, branding is about knowing your value and not stopping there, because in that meeting of 17 people, probably 15 of the 17 people knew their value, but only one person chose to communicate their value clearly. And that in itself gave them a hedge where the CEO opted to choose them or to promote them, irrespective of their qualification or their technical expertise, because they managed to communicate their value with clarity. And that is what branding is about. Branding is about aligning aligning your presence, yes, aligning your presence with good communication, but also with actions on who you are and on what you stand for. Why is this important? Because if you don't brand yourself, others will do it for you. If you don't brand yourself, you'll miss opportunities. If you don't brand yourself, nobody will know. And this will be even bad if other people might choose to brand you wrongly. Have you ever been in a community where people come together to hate you without necessarily knowing you? And one day when one person chooses to interact with you, and they start wondering, why do people hate this person in this workplace? And yet he's the most approachable person if you choose to understand him. It's because that person chose to be quiet, irrespective of the value they present. And that in itself gave out his power to the people to define him. And the people who defined him, they chose to brand him. And for those who are asking, then our facilitator, what is this thing you're calling branding because you've repeated it severally? I'll just say this. By the end of this session, I want all of us to not only be in a place where we can respond to the question of, are we the one branding ourselves, or have we given out the power for other people to brand us? But I want us to be in a place where we can respond to questions like what is it that we are known for? And how can we show up consistently for that one thing that we are known for? And if the one thing we are known for is wrongly, what can we do to change it consistently? Why is this important? Because here is where we begin that journey of self-awareness as individuals, as professionals, as institutions, as organizations, as companies, as agencies, as CBOs and FBOs. Here is where we start that journey of self-awareness. You know, how can we tell a story that can boost our strategic visibility, that can build trust? And this is why branding is important. But let's get one thing very right. Even as we get ready to discover who we are, I'm not here to change who you already are. No, 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 no. I'm here to help you identify and amplify who you are. So that if, for example, I'm a good leader, I'm not here to make you a good communicator. No. I'm here to help you see how can you position yourself as a good leader. Because from the pictures we've described, you've seen one thing. Just by somebody wearing a suit and standing confidently, you can trust that person to lead, whether you know him or not. What if the person in the aeroplane is a conman? What if the person who looks jovial is the one suffering the most in that team? But because they knew that if we don't brand ourselves, we'll give out the power for the other people to brand us, they decided to show up. And they showed up in a way that gave them confidence. And that's what I want us to do today. So let's look at then, what is this branding? What is this branding thing I keep on saying? So that we see how can we position ourselves for this branding. And basically, in simple words, branding is just getting to strategically position yourself as a credible, as a visible, and as a trusted expert in your field. Why? So that opportunities, partnerships, and growth to come after you rather than you chasing them. In the example I've given, it's the CEO who opted to choose the one who's actively engaging in that meeting rather than the one who's actively engaging in that meeting requesting that, can you pick me to continue facilitating this meeting? And this is how promotions work in our workplaces. This is how appraisals work. I've seen them where someone who's the most qualified has been there for 7 years. But then someone else comes along within a year, they are promoted. And you ask yourself, what are they doing wrong? Where the most competent person is the one who's staying there in the corner. And someone who's just eloquent at communication and visibility is promoted to become the senior manager. I've been in organizations where I've seen the director is not capable of presenting meetings, is not capable of showing up the way it's supposed to be, but yet is the one who was promoted to be the director. And now the project officer asked me, what am I doing wrong? And I asked the project officer, have you even at one given point written that report and said that here, let me write prepared by me? Or do you just write these reports and allow someone else to take credit? Because the one who reads the report, they don't read who prepared it. They don't read who worked in preparing it. Rather, they read the one who signed down there that prepared by so and so. So every time good reports are submitted, they are giving credit to this director. And that's why when opportunity came, it's the director who was preferred as the most competent candidate. But you, who's been the technical expert, who's been the muscle, you are seen as someone who can continue working there. And these are the challenges we meet. So how can we position ourselves? How can we position ourselves? So let's look at how can we position ourselves. Why is that important? It's because competence isn't equal to opportunity. We have a lot of competent people, but those who are not competent often are the ones getting opportunities. You have a lot of technocrats, but then those who are the loudest sometimes are the ones getting the opportunity. Those who are visible are the ones getting opportunity. Why is that important? It's because competence isn't equivalent to opportunities. Rather, visibility somehow behind the curtains plays the role of influencing selection. He who is visible, whether they are competent or not, somehow they find a way of influencing selection. Why? Because they shape the perception of the selector. I don't know whether it's making sense. That he who was actively participating, whether they were the most competent or not, subconsciously, they shaped the perception of how the CEO looked at them. He who walked in that room confidently and conflict arose, subconsciously shaped the perception of how the room, the hall looked at them. And that's why when they were stuck, they opted to look at him and ask, what do you think can we do here? He in that group who was actively participating, not the loudest, but with confidence, with how they presented themselves, probably by how they were dressed, by how they were standing their posture, by how they were communicated. Subconsciously, they influenced the perception of the whole team. And that's why when an opportunity came for one person to present the idea the whole group has discussed, unknowingly they all pointed at him or her and requested, can you go present us? Yes, Tabman. Yes, Tabman Sewon, you have a question?
Sorry, my hand just been up. I should have gotten it down. Sorry.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
I'm following. Thank you
now-
for the recognition.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, this is the one thing I want us to look at. Why? Because for long we've had this fallacy of believing that because we are professionals, because we have these qualifications, then opportunities will come. You have someone, you interact with someone with a doctorate, with a PhD, with a master's, with a degree, with a certificate, and they tell you they've been tamarking for the past 3 years. They've been tamarking for the past 7 months. And yet someone who just graduated yesterday, today they've secured a job. And the question is, what did they do different? Why? The market doesn't reward competence. Yes, it rewards competence, but competence alone doesn't justify the reward. Rather, there's something behind the curtain, subconsciously shaping their decision. The other day, I was joking with someone on a journalism profession, where I was asking that you look at journalists, radio hosts, TV hosts, you realize most of these people have not even done journalism. They were content creators, but somehow they were selected to become radio hosts, certain session hosts. What happened? And my fellow friend responded, they just branded themselves. And the opportunity saw them. And yet you have a lot of people who've done journalism, always applying for that position, and they've never been shortlisted. What does it mean? That somehow, because of their visibility, it played a role to them getting this opportunity. And this is the question. Are you branding yourself as a visible, competent professional? Or are you just a competent professional seated there under the fallacy perception that opportunities will come seek for you in that workplace? So that later you come complaining that you've been there, you're the most qualified there, you're the most experienced there, but anytime there's an opportunity for a promotion, they pick someone else. Are you the highly unskilled, the highly skilled person who's unseen? Or are you the visible professional who dominates conversation, who dominates rooms when they come in? And remember, kindly don't confuse dominating by being the loudest. Someone could just walk into a room by the way they walk, by the way they dress, and by the way they speak when they choose to speak. The whole room chooses to keep quiet and listen. Or by the way they interact. Someone could just come to them and say, you are approachable. Without them knowing, they're asked, by the what course did you do? We have a human resource opportunity because we need someone who's approachable, someone who can set a culture where the staffs can come in, address them when there's a problem without fear. Why? Let's not be amongst the statistics of the most skilled personnel, but nobody knows about us. How are we using our different social networks? From LinkedIn to Facebook to our physical networks at our workplaces. Do they know us by what we stand for? Or if right now they choose to look at our resume, they'll be surprised and ask, is this really you? You are an accountant, but you got a job as a project officer. And every now and then they keep on reporting mismanagement of resources in your office because you weren't selected as the program accountant. So one day when they are looking at the papers, they wonder, so we've been having an accountant here all along. What does that mean? That there has been an opportunity all along. But because you chose not to brand yourself, the opportunity missed you. And that is the gap. So how can you brand yourself? One, you need to work on consistency. You know, branding is not a one-day thing. This is an action you choose to take deliberately and work on it consistently by building results and visibility. Let it be in that workplace that every time somebody is stuck in that analysis, they come to you. Every time someone has they have conflict, they come to you because you presented this leadership aura through your branding. You walk to a room and you solve problems. Let it be that your personal brand speak for you. Not because that is the way you describe yourself, but because of the consistency you've had. Let it be subconsciously is the way you've heard other people describe you. In your presence and in your absentia. Let your personal brand speak for you. Yes, I see Alfred saying something very important, that our background sometimes and culture, sometimes they act as barriers, you know, they blur our intentions of personal branding. And that's why people tend to actually embrace this low profile. And that's one way to look at the hindrance, which I want us to look at how to go about it. How can we go about these barriers? How can we go about these barriers? But first, let's get to understand that the first way to position yourself, if presented an opportunity, is not to throw a title. And I want to tell us why throwing a title is the worst way to brand yourself. You know, do people follow your lead because of your authority, or do people follow your lead because they've absorbed your vision? Why am I saying that? Because if people follow your lead because of if people follow your lead because of your authority, then it means in your absentia you have no effect on them. But if people follow your lead because of how you've branded yourself, even in your absentia, it means they'll still commit to the same vision. So if presented an opportunity to describe yourself, what is the best formula you can use to position yourself? First, before you throw your titles and your authority, present yourself as a servant. Who do you help? Who do you serve? And if you've been able to, what have you been able to achieve? And how? Why? Because before people remember your name, the first thing they remember is your achievement, is the one thing that made you stand out. Have you ever been to a meeting and then in the meeting, just because of the way you dressed, probably everybody came dressed in black and navy blue and gray, and you showed up dressed in red. And you start interacting with people, and someone could say, maybe you could hear people recall to you that, do you remember that guy who was dressed in red? I loved how they introduced themselves. Because that's one thing that made you stand out. Do you remember that person who was helping the poor people in the community? I love their vision. You know, I love what they're doing as a project. You are in a resource mobilization seminar, and you've introduced yourself, you've introduced the organization, what you do, some of the achievements you've had, and someone just comes to you and says, I heard what you said, you know, that you've supported 100 families that are living below the poverty line. And I just want to onboard in that vision. Maybe is there an opportunity to partner with you? Why? Because you didn't throw your title. Rather, you threw yourself as a servant. Who you help, how you help them, and what you've been able to achieve. Why is that important? Because by clearly saying who you help, you set a foundation or a precedence for the right audience to reach out to you. When you go to an organization, you don't say, I'm Raymond Mokaya and I'm a project officer. No. No, 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 no. That is good. But what if you say, I'm Raymond Mokaya And I've worked with different organizations as a project officer to help them deliver community impact through my monitoring and evaluation expertise. And someone could come to you and ask, so how do you do this? How did you do this? Because my organization is still suffering under the same thing. Visibility. When you say you're a project officer, is it in accountancy? Is it in education? Is it in agriculture? Is it in community health? Is it in peace building? You know, why come up with a generic way to describe yourself when given an opportunity to boost your visibility? That is one way to start branding. How else can we go about branding? Is getting to understand the delicate balance between the authority triangle. But before we look at that, up to there, do we have any question, any comment, any concern? Let me go through one of the questions I see here. That what do you do to a supervisor who is not committed to work, but always take credit of the work he has done to the boss? That's a very good question. And I'm going to respond to it in this slide as we continue. But to respond to it preambly, branding somehow finds a way to bring visibility. What do we mean by this? We have these supervisors who always want to take credit of the work they've not done. And to them, maybe that's how they branded themselves. Maybe they branded themselves by being competent. And that's how they secured their job. Remember, you're not there to showcase your supervisor as incompetent. Has someone here ever read the 48 rules of, what do we call that book? 48 Laws of Power. And one of it is never outshine your boss. One of the
Rule
rules
number,
is never outshine your boss. Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, that rule number one.
Never
Number
outshine your
one. Rule number one, yeah.
Never outshine your master.
master.
So you
Yeah.
don't want to outshine your master, but then your master is not giving you credit where you've won it. How can you go about it? Because you've branded yourself. And that's why your master knows you are someone who's very competent. But then they are afraid that if they present you to their masters, they might be skipped and they are looking at you as a threat. Let me tell us how to bring that. Is by getting to appreciate the intricate balance of the authority triangle. What do I mean by this? What I mean by this is, yes, you have the skills, and yes, you are credible, but then you are not visible. Yes, you have the skills. Yes, you are visible, but then nobody can have proof that you did it, because every time you write that report, that point of prepared by, it's your supervisor who signs there. So even their supervisor, they ask, why have you not given Raymond an opportunity? Because we see him as a very, very competent person to write this report. Because they don't know it's you. How can you bring that balance? Yes, yes, Tabman, is it, did you raise that hand by intention? I see you've raised your
Yeah,
hand.
yeah, you are practically talking to people like us. So I want you to be a little bit intentional on providing real life scenario in our direction, because we have some category bosses. They can allow other people to present their work when assignments are given, but if it is you, he will request your own work and assignment behind closed door, and it shouldn't be shared or copied to other members of the team. So that's another issue. So it is in both ways. And so I really want to get your based on experiential examples to see how you work that out.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's something someone calls it throwing yourself out there, but strategically. One way to approach it Now let's start. Let me take us through this triangle because that is the answer. That I have the skills, you know, I know what I know. And because of what I know, that's why I got that job. Maybe, for example. But then I'm not visible to the right audience to present an opportunity for my appraisal or my promotion. Because my supervisor keeps on taking the credibility or the proof of my work. Now, how can I go about it? We start by looking at the different avenues of visibility. What do I mean by this? That we start by looking at the different avenues of visibility. I don't want to talk about the skills because, as we've said, this is the challenge most of us have. So let me omit the skill because we already have the skill. What we are struggling is credibility and visibility. You know, having the right person see us and having the right proof that this is what we did and someone support that actually this is what you did. Now we start by visibility. Yes, your supervisor knows what you're capable of, but they're not providing you an opportunity to be visible to the right audience. And now the question is this: what are the several avenues of visibility within your workstation? What do I mean by this? What do I mean by avenues of visibility? Apart from writing the report, there's the presentation of the report. Apart from presenting the report, there's also the work culture. The work culture is, it's the supervisor who always presents the report. But then the supervisor also does periodic visits at the workplaces and inquires through these periodic field visits or workspaces visits or interaction with the staffs. And this presents you an opportunity not to outshine your supervisor. That could be one of the avenues. We have the second avenue. The second avenue, we have our annual, our quarterly, our semi-annual staff meetings or performance progress or performance review meetings as an organization, for example. These meetings are not there for our supervisors. Rather, they are there for the whole staffs. And some of the times, the persons facilitating such a forums could be your supervisor or the director or the CEO. And some of the times when they review this performance and there are questions, they tend to ask, how can we go about this? What are some of the best practices? You know, probably your field or your department has been performing best. And in these performance review meetings, you are presented as a supervisor to share some of the success stories. You know, what did you do to attain this so that other departments could copy? And these are some of the avenues, you know. I'm looking at a scenario where
Yeah, I'm not getting the question I want to provide.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to get clarity, but I'm not getting you clear. I know, can you repeat yourself?
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. We will get this recording as well and also this document for further review for those who are asking on the same. So no need to worry on that. Now, what I'm saying is get to explore these different avenues to present yourself as this competent, qualified, and credible personnel. I'm looking at a scenario where I'm presenting in a performance review meeting with the stakeholders or even the director and the CEO there. And there are some challenges in the program. And we are brainstorming on what can we do to address such challenges. And I raise my hand. And as I raise my hand, do you know how to deal with these bosses? I say, through the good leadership of our supervisor here, Mr. Raymond, I know we can integrate maybe strategy A, B, C, and D to enhance our performance as a department. I'm not presenting my supervisor as a competitor. I'm not presenting my supervisor as a hindrance. Rather, I'm appreciating my supervisor by presenting an opportunity with the different technical skills I know on how to improve the performance. I don't know. I don't know whether it's making sense. Hesbon, I see you've raised your hand. I don't know whether it's making sense.
Yes, I wanted to just to say, as you continue, also tell us how we can deal with those supervisors that they only come in when credit is there, but the moment the liability pops up, they distance themselves. So kindly address that as you proceed.
Thank you, thank you. Actually, those are the best supervisors to deal with because through branding, that is when you pick up the problem. You know, the supervisors, when there's a problem, that is when they now they escalate. You know, they escalate or they throw the blame to someone else. Let's assume you're supposed to enroll. It's a project that's supposed to enroll beneficiaries, and you had a target of enrolling 500 beneficiaries. But then the donor has come and has realized you've only enrolled 230 and is asking the supervisor, what is the problem? And the supervisor is saying, it's these people. They don't want to work. I've tried to push them and they're not working. And then you know what it does? It skips the middle person. And how the CEO interacts with you people directly. Do you know how they interact with you? They ask, what is the problem? Is this work too heavy? We find someone else. And that is your key to come in. Where you could say, actually, we've been trying with the support that we've been getting from our supervisor. But now we are exploring some alternative measures, like utilizing the already existing line of linkages or channels to enroll these people, where we could get them easily. The only request we have, can we get an approval letter from our community or from the government that could showcase us as viable institution to build trust? What am I doing? And then you could hear maybe the CEO or the supervisor or the donor could be told that kindly note that one down as a key takeaway. And I want us to fast track how we're going to get those letters. Has that presented you an opportunity to shine? Hesbon, have I given you one of the tips to go about branding?
Yes, thank you so much. That is well noted.
Now, let me continue very fast because of time as I continue to respond to some of these questions. These are things we'll continue to interact in as we continue with our other sessions in different courses. For those maybe with your trainers in different courses, you get to see now if you find a way to be visible, but then you don't have proof. Look at that scenario. Look at that scenario. It has presented itself that yes, as we were helping writing the other report, actually I saw this gap, and you've showcased you had the skills, you've showcased you helped write the report, but then let's look at credibility. Can you actually provide proof that you can do this? Do you have a track record? Do you have a track record that people can use to build credibility? Look, this is what we usually say, that before you stand out, have a working prototype. Before I say, yes, I can run 10 kilometers. You know, you go to people running and then you say, you people, you are joking. You know, if I decide I can run those 10 kilometers, have a working prototype. Say, actually, I've been running the 10 kilometers for the past 7 months. This is how I've been exercising. Why? Proof and credibility builds trust. Trust combined with skills not only lays a good foundation for visibility, but also for referral. Now, once we find a way to bring this balance, because if you are visible, but you're not skilled, then that opportunity you've gotten, you will struggle to sustain it. If you are skilled, you are visible, but you're not credible. What do I mean? We have people who are very skilled, who are very visible, but nobody can trust them. Probably that's how they got their visibility. And this in itself, it raises that challenge. So learning to balance this. If, for example, right now you are in a place where you got it through visibility, let's say it's referral, and you don't have the skills, and that's why you've onboarded in this course, to get the skills, then you are on the right track. So that when the time comes when they'll be assessing your credibility in terms of skills, you'll showcase your credentials and say, yes, I'm not just here because I'm visible. I'm here because I'm qualified. Now, let's look at some of the avenues also to boost visibility. It goes beyond.
Yeah, Jasmine, Jasmine,
yes.
I got a question.
Yes. We
Okay,
have
this is
around
my
14
question.
minutes. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I have the credit bit. I'm from Liberia. I will speak as a Liberian because I'm looking at the situation when it comes to job, when it comes to leadership, when it comes to administration. So I'm at an employer, and then I'm seeing an individual that had the visibility and the credibility. But then I have my immediate family who has no character at all. How can I employ the two of them, my interests, and somebody that is not my interest but is capable for the job?
Thank you for that question. There's one thing I usually like to appreciate, and that is facts. The three facts that I like to appreciate is the world is not as utopian as we might want it to be. Things don't happen always the way we want them to. And the second one that I always want to appreciate is the philosophy of meritocracy is being undone by the fact that up to 67% of job acquisition is referral based. Why are you referred? It's because you're visible. And the other thing I like to appreciate is up to 73% of senior positions job acquisition is based on soft skills, not technical skills. Soft skills, that's how I asked us first to describe those people, is how is your leadership skill? How is your communication skill? How is your conflict resolution skill? Are you approachable? Are you precise? Are you presentable? Depending on the work you're going for. Before they look at, are you qualified? These are the things they assess. That's why you find a theologian as a director in an accountancy job. That's why even in government positions, you find a linguistic expert as a cabinet secretary in an educational department. Because soft skill is emotional intelligence. Soft skill is leadership. Soft skill is conflict resolution. Soft skill is communication. And we'll look at those. So for those who are doing leadership, I want to believe your facilitator will take you through those in a very in-depth manner. Now, why am I mentioning this? It's because of the question you've asked that you have these two people. I want to mention it in a very null way. I want to respond to it in a very null way. One, I want to give an example. Let's say I'm a clerk and 20 people are queued to come for my services. Among the 20 people who are queued, the number 19 person is my brother and is queued there. Will I allow him to skip the 18 people to come and get the services? Or will I allow him to queue like the rest to come and get the services? And let's be honest with ourselves. How can I go about it? Let me just hear two responses. How can I go about it? The first human reaction or response would be to allow this person to skip the queue, right?
Yes.
And why Hesbon? Why do you think so?
Because it's just our nature as human. Because of that connection.
Okay. Thank you. Naomi, what do you think?
We allow the same person to queue the way they are.
Thank
you. The way others have yes, you allow him or her to queue the same way that person, the same way you want others to be treated. That's how you treat even your brother.
Thank you.
Even your
Thank you,
sister.
thank you.
You allow her or him to be there also.
Thank you. Now, let me introduce us to a little concept in the School of Philosophy from the same answers we've given. In my school of thought, I say a 9 could be a 6, and a 6 could be a 9. It depends on where you are standing from. That is, corruption and connection are separated by a very thin line. But now I want to skip from corruption to say connection and corruption are separated by a very thin line. What do I mean? You who's calling this brother to skip the line, it's because you are connected. So he who's looking, the brother is looking at you as a referral because you are connected. Up to 67% of job acquisition is referral based in Africa. So this brother who was supposed to queue from number 19 will skip the line because he's connected to you. But now he who was not visible, who doesn't know you, will look at it as corruption. So the question is this: are you seeing a 9 or are you seeing a 6? It only becomes corruption if you pay for the services, whereas you're not supposed to pay for them. But if he asks you to come and get the services because you are connected, then that is referral. But if you paid the watchman, the guard, to skip the line, then you're corrupt. You're supposed to be sued. I don't know whether I'm introducing a different school of thought, because these are facts. Why am I saying they are facts? If 67 out of 100 people secure jobs out of referral, it means you can't refer someone you're not connected to. So the question is this: what separates connection from corruption is when you introduce bribery. If you bribed for the referral, then you're corrupt. But if it's out of your visibility, it's your colleague who referred you, it's your supervisor who referred you to that other job, then you're connected, you're visible. And that is branding. Branding is, how can you be visible so that opportunities could come to you rather than you going to chase them? So if right now, one of you tells me that there's this job somewhere, for example, that in my organization, people have a problem with cohesiveness. I see you can do a very good team building facilitation. Can you come and help us? I didn't apply for the job. Could we say that's corruption? I want to believe I've responded to your question, you who was asking, it's your brother or it's your sister or it's your friend. Now the question comes
I'm charging once again. I asked that question.
Now the question comes in. Let me conclude. The question comes in. Just a minute. Let me conclude this. The question or the challenge comes in sustainability, where we talk of proof. What do I mean by this? If you hire someone who's not competent, then they'll have to be let go, irrespective of whether they are visible or they are skilled. And that's why I've called it an intricate balance. It's delicate, that they not only have to be visible, but also they have to be skilled and they have to be credible. So if I hire someone who's visible, credible, but not skilled, then they can't be sustained in that job. They'll have to be let go sooner or later. Here's where you hear that someone was hired within a month or 3 months, they were let go because they weren't able to deliver on the key performance indicators of that role. And remember, in a workplace, it's not about knowing each other. It's about being able to deliver on your duties and responsibilities. So for sustainability and promotion, the balance has to be there, that you are visible, you are credible, but also you are skilled. If you hire someone who's credible and who's visible, but they're not skilled, then somewhere along the line, you have to let them go. When audit is done, what do I mean by that? They don't have the technical competency or qualifications. When audit is done, when their files are opened, then you are asked, how did you select these people? And that's why There's somewhere I was advising people, I was telling them that if you got this job by chance, the least you can do is go qualify yourself to this job before you are let go. Because if you don't balance visibility with credibility and skills, then you're not sustainable. I want to believe that has responded to your question, Zoe. If your brother is not able to perform, then they're not credible. If they've not gone, they don't have that qualification, then they're not skilled. They're just visible. That means they can't be sustained in that workplace. Even if you give them today, tomorrow you'll have to let them go because of the work pressure, because of the work poor performance, because of the inquisitiveness of the directors and the supervisors and the stakeholders who will be asking, who did you hire? And that's why before even someone refers you, they tell you, I'm putting my name on the line so that if you underperform, it's me who will be questioned. And that means next time there's an opportunity, they won't ask me to refer someone else. I want to believe I've responded to that. Let me just pick Henry as I conclude within 3 minutes on the remaining slides.
Yeah,
Yes,
thanks so much for the presentation. My question has to do: is it necessary to hire a family member in your company or in your entity? Is it necessary?
Thank you. Unless it's a family business, I'll advise you rather not hire them in the same office. History severally has shown the challenges that comes with being, unless it's a family member, with working with a family member in the same workplace. That's why often what they do is they refer their family members to other opportunities through their link of networks and connections. So if I'm working in company A, I rather refer my colleague or my brother to company B. And that's why through policy, you get to look at so many policies, human resource policies, work policies. There are three things they oftenly discourage: having siblings working in the same place, having couples working in the same place. There's a certain organization, I saw even they had a policy that if you get a wife or a husband in the same workplace, then one has to resign. And I think they're doing that for a reason. I want to believe I've responded to you.
Yeah, I want to respond to the question too, Jackson.
Yes, go ahead as we conclude.
Okay, thank you very much. It doesn't matter whether you have your family member or to be employed in the entity, but we are looking at just what we're speaking on the credibility and the visibility, and just what you spoke on policy. So if I see my family member that is capable of doing the work, that does not matter. What matters is the kind of way you present the work, that the donors in which I apply to them for this project will be able to respond positively to every result and analysis he will see. So that does not matter. But what matters is, does my family member capable for this job? That's the question. And I think when he's capable and prepared, he can work.
Can I have an input?
Can you allow me come in?
Thank you. Sorry. There was a network glitch. I'm back. Now, you've really mentioned something very good, and I don't want to delve so much into that. This class is really interesting, and also time is really running. So I was looking at other social. I see 3 hands. Kindly don't put them down. I'm going to call us in a few. I was looking at
I
other
just wanted
social
to
ways
come
to
in.
increase
Hello?
visibility.
Hello?
Yes, just a minute, kindly. I was looking at other social ways to increase visibility, including use some of the social platforms like LinkedIn to upgrade your visibility through writing strong headlines, results focused profiles. Don't just write your resume or your LinkedIn with the jobs and job duties and responsibilities. Rather, phrase them from a point of accomplishment. And also get to identify key strategic words in that area of profession. Now, when we talk of content strategy, is when you choose to publish things that align with your area of expertise. Maybe you are teaching, maybe you share lessons through different social media, through your account, through your social group, through your colleagues in your workplace, and get to tell some of these professional stories. Get to mention some of the things you've done in different organizations or different workplaces, because your goal here is not to draw attention, rather it's to position yourself as someone who's experienced in that area of expertise. When I meet someone and we are discussing and I'm saying, the other day I was in a certain organization helping them come up with a strategic plan, and then we discuss about it, I mentioned some of the challenges they had. Do you know one thing I know for a fact? When I leave that place, as much as we had this professional discussion, they look at me as an expert who's familiar with how to draft strategic plans. So how can you tell professional stories? How can it go beyond the social jibby jabbers to now being professional stories that actually align with who you are as a professional? If you are a leader, if you are an expert, these are some of the strategies that you can use to boost your visibility and also your credibility. And if you align it with your competency, then you are good to go. So this is the visibility pyramid. Before you start thinking of how can I change someone's thought who is 100 miles away from where I am, start with, what is the branding? What is the perception of the people I'm working with? What is the perception of the people closest to me? Do I have an impact? Do these people come to me as a data analyst, as a resource mobilization expert, as a monitoring and evaluation expert, as a project manager, as a conflict resolution expert anytime they have a problem? Because the moment the internal people in your workplace, in your social circle, know you and associate with you out of your professions, then now they become the first networks to link you to different professional network through referrals, through connections. And now these professional networks are the ones now who will work as advocates, sharing the things that you've done outside there. Why am I saying that? Through the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 50, 100 people we've interacted with, those are the people somehow who convinced some of us to onboard in AfriSkill to try our sessions. It means we started with the internal. I started with the 10 people. The 10 people brought other 10 people. The other 10 people brought the other 100 people. And now through that now we start subconsciously shaping the public thought on who we are as professionals. So before you start thinking of how can I be visible to that person who's 20 kilometers away from I am, ask yourself, am I visible to the person who's next to me? Am I performing well from my point of work? Because that's how visibility starts. That's how credibility starts. That's how branding starts. My first workshop facilitation in a certain organization, I got it from a friend in a workplace several years ago. Because every time there was a staff team building activity, there was a staff work, let's say, for example, facilitation or group discussions in my workplace, somehow they could find a way of giving me to go do the presentation. They could find a way of giving me an opportunity to go do the presentation. Without knowing, I was building my brand. Then I didn't know what personal branding was. Until one day, a colleague told me that my sister organization, they have this activity and they are looking for a facilitator. Could you go help them on A, B, C, and D? And I said, okay, I'm okay. But because then I didn't know, I started asking, how much are they giving? Maybe what do you think? How much should I charge them? But one thing was clear. I had already branded.
Nala?
He's lost. I think so.
Lost him maybe because of network.
Yeah. I think he lost connection.
Yes.
Hello, good evening, people.
Evening.
Good evening.
Evening.
Yeah, good
Yes,
evening. Yeah.
I've got a
Good
question.
evening.
Did you say when next we're having class? The same meeting?
The class
There were no
should,
mention.
Does it mean that
I think
the session has ended?
it should be on the 26th. On the
Or it's
26th.
just the network?
Yeah, next week, Monday.
Hello?
Hello, has the session ended or what is happening?
It hasn't ended. I think it's just lost network.
I believe it's working.
Hello?
Hello,
Yes.
I need clarity. I was asking that. When is the next meeting?
So
Our next Monday.
Communicate.
Thank you.
Our next
Getting back.
So kindly, as we adjourn, apologies, I got lost somewhere along the way. I think it was an internet glitch. But as we adjourn, the one thing that I can end with is personal branding is an intentional thing to do. Find a way, the different methods we've discussed, through the different tools we'll share with us, to be seen, to be clear, and to be consistent. And once you do that, now follow opportunities with clarity and visibility, because that is how we position ourselves for the next opportunities. With that one said, up to there. Do we have any other question, any comment, any concern before we adjourn today's session?
Yeah, you always have to look at the fingers that are up, and like that you can keep the conversation constructive and organized. So we don't just allow people to get on the floor at anyhow.
Okay. Let me mute us. Let me mute us so that I get to hear one person at a time. I think we
So
were
can I?
talking at once. Yes,
My finger
stubborn.
is up.
Yes,
Yeah.
stubborn.
So okay. So first I want to appreciate you because the concern that we had with bosses who recognize your skills, they recognize your competence, but yet they fight over credit and then they don't want to showcase you. You gave me one solution, and I think that was very brilliant and that was perfect. That is to say that since you will not struggle with your boss and you have the choices to make over you, then there are avenues, and one of the avenues is when you are having session like the SMT meeting, that is your management team meeting, where everybody have to give their input in the decision making process, is an opportunity to appreciating and at the same time making your point. You could also do that during performance review meeting. You could also find an opportunity during coordination meeting. You could also make yourself available during interaction with colleagues in problem solving, so that people see you as a magnetic field that they can be attracted to, and that can bring up your leadership, and people can be able to know your brand. I think that was so brilliant, and I want to appreciate you for that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm Jazzy from Liberia.
Thank you, Seiwon. Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jazzy from Liberia.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me first start to appreciate. Let me first appreciate you for your effort. And we have learned enough And I think we are in different atmosphere with the kind of knowledge we are required. But one recommendation I would start with is the network system in Liberia. Sometimes people should be able to consider us because people will be ahead of us while we stay behind. So we'll ask some questions which maybe they have passed through it. But then to have in, if I may work on an employer or the manager, which I'm very sophisticated more than him. And in our setting here, we know that to just grow to somebody with half educated is very difficult in Liberia. Like, I try to go to America, but then I need somebody capable to run my place. But then the person is not educated, but I so chosen. And then I try to invest and try to manage. But vacancy have come up. And then I apply. But then the man looking at his friendship with the guy who have invested. And I looking at my visibility, my credibility, my professionalism, my everything is there. How can I grow on this kind of character? So thank you for the time. This have to be my questions.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I think I'll.
yeah, hello.
Yes, I'll only take two. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, this is Mohammed. Thank you again. I speaking from Labro again. Yeah, for me, I just want to appreciate you for your presentation because every slide and every presentation you make is enlightening us on our previous knowledge. I so appreciated to that. But I really want to recommend to the ballet going forward. We should allocate time for maybe caution, maybe after every slide, then people interrupting at all time. Sometimes you can be on or important topic or presentation, people keep interrupting. If possible, they raise their hand. Once they are recognized, then they present them to just interrupt at all time. I don't think professionally that could be a decent one for us. So that is my recommendation and observation. Thank you.
Thank you. With that one said, then, now that we've surpassed our time, I think with around 5 minutes, I think we can adjourn there. But also, I invite us, in case of any question, any comment, any concern in regards to the course you're partaking, maybe you want to know when to start, you can still reach us through the contacts on your screen. And I appreciate the time. I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate also the participation, as I usually look at these sessions as an opportunity to not only share, but also to learn from our different experiences. With that one said, thank you so much, and let's all have a blessed evening.
Thank you too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.